Hey everybody, private MLB. It's the baseball video for Thursday, April 4th. Very short day, so we get to go through every single game extensively. It's kind of I like these days where there aren't very many games. Gives us a chance to try to get every game right. I still don't think baseball's ever had a day where every single game wins. So one of these days where there's like six might be a nice one. So let's see what we can do here. We'll go over every game. We also get to make a line today. We have a doubleheader between Detroit and the Mets, where it's showing up on this list with combination 110. So one we're going with. If you watch the recap video that I did late last night, combination 110 seems to be the best thing to go with. So we're going to go with that. Doesn't focus on innings pitched per appearance very much or pitcher whip. It does with pitcher ERA. It does with lineup factor. I like that. And it does with BABIP an average run. So this is kind of a heavily battering favor combination string. But it does care about ERA of the starting pitcher and a little bit about team ERA. So it's interesting because we're not focusing on starting pitcher stats other than ERA. So we'll see if there's something to that. Now, let's go over the games. Kansas City over a very bad White Sox team this year. I mean, to see Kansas City in minus 174 line tells you how bad the White Sox have played this year. Pittsburgh over Washington. They lost last night, but they were 5-0 going into that. So we're going to dig into that. Cleveland annihilated Minnesota yesterday, and they catch an underdog line today. So that's kind of looking like a very, very good pick. We'll see how that pitching matchup is. Our second game of the doubleheader should go to Detroit more than the first one. And Casey Mize, I don't know, hasn't pitched since 2022. So that's sketchy. And his stats were not good in like the one game he pitched. You got Lance Lynn going for St. Louis. And of course, they're favored over a Miami team that has also not been playing very well. So let's take a look at this game by game. It's about 11:30 right now. I should get this out before this. They've been waiting to play this Mets-Detroit game for 3 days, I believe. So they have to do doubleheader. So the problems that are involved in this game are the Mets are not hitting well. Detroit is historically not known to be all that well, hitting well either. I don't trust this pitcher who hasn't pitched in forever. Adam Hauser is a little bit more trustworthy. 8-5 last year, reasonable stats. Both these guys are going to go probably about 5 innings, but very sketchy here to see what happens. So it's an extremely tough game to play. You can see that it's putting this game. Why is it putting this game in favor of Detroit? Because because Detroit's bullpen ERA is decent this year. That's surprising. It's usually a team that struggles with their bullpen, but so far this year they've been doing well. Their BABIP is better. They've been scoring more runs than the Mets. That's the thing is the Mets have not broken out much at all. So when I see a game like this, and the question marks under the pitcher, I want to stay away, or I feel like the Mets might pull something out here, but don't ever listen to me. Always listen to the algorithm. So you can see it's the worst picks, 6 and 7. It's the closest game of all of them. So you might just, I don't know what to do here. Over under set at 7.5. Says they get 3-3 tie, which would be, I don't know. That's a tough game. It's just a tough game. The second one, Matt Manning is better. And Jose Budo, while he has good pitching stats, his win-loss is not great. You can see the lineups that they have for this game are somewhat better. I guess they're resting some people in the first game that are better players in the second game, or we have only expected lineups in the second game. That's what that is. Oh yeah, we don't have, you can see they're confirmed for the first game. So it's one of those where you might want to wait and paste in the final lineups to figure out. It looks like you can see they're not playing players that would be the better players to play in the first game. That's kind of interesting. The expected lineup that RotoWire puts out is a better roster. So anyway, this one though is the number 4 pick and favors Detroit more. And that's because Matt Manning is a better pitcher than Casey Mize. So it's really Detroit in the second game, and the first game's kind of too close to call. But we'll see if we get lucky and the algorithm catches another win for Detroit. Pittsburgh and Washington. 4 o'clock game here in Washington. Nice weather today. Martin Perez, very good pitcher, 10-4. Josiah Gray, an okay pitcher, but the Nationals have just been so terrible, and their bullpen ERA is terrible. I don't think that Pittsburgh drops another one here with Martin Perez going. So -124, very reasonable, probably because they lost yesterday, that this line is not that bad. You can see it's the number 2 pick of the day. Pittsburgh is favored in everything except ERA. Josiah Gray's ERA is a little bit better than Martin Perez, but Pittsburgh's a ballpark where people hit a lot of balls out there. Bullpen better. Lineup's better. They're scoring more runs. Their BABIP's better. Pittsburgh probably wins this game. Cleveland and Minnesota. Strong Cleveland underdog, number 3. So here's your underdog pick of the day. Being Cleveland, Tanner Beebe, good pitcher. Pablo Lopez, also a good pitcher. That's why. Lineup factors are the same, but the bullpen on Cleveland has been better this year, although they did start off with a 4-game series against Oakland. That's probably why they were scoring and hitting more. So notice that the over-under is set extremely low because these pitchers are pretty good pitchers. I don't know if it's cold in Minnesota today. Probably, right? That keeps the ball in the park. Although Cleveland won 8-0 last night, right? Do they have a dome there? They have like a retractable dome, or I'm thinking of football. I don't know. Well, anyway, Cleveland underdog pick of the day says they win by 3 runs. Miami and St. Louis. St. Louis, look at the runs in this game. Look at the ERAs in this game. Look at the bad bullpens in this game. Lance Lynn, yikes. If the weather's good in St. Louis, watch. I've been to that St. Louis ballpark many times. Used to spend a lot of time in St. Louis. They hit the ball down the right field line a lot down there. At least that's where I used to sit. Expect some runs. This over-under of 8, this is where you go with the alternate over of like 10 runs in this game to get a better line. If you can get that, that's what's saying will happen here. Because I just look at the ERAs and the team bullpen ERAs, just expect runs. Notice it's going to be close though. This is almost as close as this Detroit Mets game. So it's really the over to play in this game. Because there's just supposed to be just hitting, just terrible pitching. White Sox in Kansas City, 7-3. Kansas City, Seth Lugo, very good pitcher. Michael Soroka, not so much. And on a team that's not hitting. They're averaging 2 runs a game, almost as bad as the Mets. So Kansas City, after that tough loss last night, but they really played well up until the 9th inning. Bummer. So Kansas City at -176. So, all right. I don't know if we're going to win every game, but we should win a lot of these games. Kansas City probably going to win. Pittsburgh probably going to win. Cleveland underdog probably going to win. This second Detroit game probably going to win, and runs in this game, and this one's a toss-up. So I think my round robin today is looking like these 4 winners and the over in this game. Those are the 5 that I'm probably going to go with. And there you go. That's the update. Good luck. May all your picks be winning. Enjoy baseball. Let's catch some wins today.